Hi, Ava.
It's the updates y'all have been waiting for. Slick Rick, making progress. 2022! Alright guys, giving you guys another chance. Like this video, comment on it. If we get 2,000 likes on this video, you guys will have a chance to win a swag pack. I'll go through the comments, pick a winner, and send you guys an LS Nasty swag pack. So go down, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, enjoy today's video.
Whoa.
It's coming out this year. I like the energy. We're trying to get Matt to keep that energy.
Yes, sir!
We have some work to do. Matt's kind of been tinkering with it today. We had Jody come and pick up the Caprice, which is why I'm wearing the same getup as in previous videos. Very sad. I've just got done crying after they actually left here twice because they went to get Starbucks and then they came back and then they hit the road, and that thing, it just sounds so good. So I'm a little sad, but I think this might sound a little bit better. So for those of you guys that don't know what the build is, we have a 3rd gen Camaro, double frame rail deal.
He's just pointing at the car.
Yeah, I'm going.
You said 3rd gen Camaro. He's pointing at the car.
3rd gen Camaro.
Keep up with the energy.
Double frame rail deal, 2-speed lockup 400. It's got a 481X from Proline, 140 millimeter Hartz turbo. Steven over at Rock Solid Motorsports did the turbo kit, did the fab, the hot side, cold side, wastegate dumps, fuel tank, badass exhaust, burn down tank. Really knocked it out of the park, so it looks really good. So now it's back here in our hands to get a lot of the work done. Matt has kind of had creative freedom over this build as far as where we want to put anything, where we want to put everything.
General
kind of
wiring,
what we're doing as far as like sensor wise and layout. This is kind of Matt's whole deal with that. We're just kind of letting him run free and do what he wants. A lot of the other stuff, I don't know if Matt finds it annoying or not, but like when we're working on Hank or the Glizzard, I'm like, no, I want to put this here. I'm like, no, I want to put this here. No, I want it to look like that. So this one, I've just been trying not to bug Matt and just kind of stay out of the way and let him do his thing so he can efficiently do what he likes.
You did help him set the driver's seat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Come with us.
Yeah.
So we actually talked about this in a video before. It is an extremely tight fit, but we were able to fit this RaceTech seat in this car. So this car here is going to be a 200+ mile-an-hour car in the 8th mile. The Kirky seat is nice. We run it in the black sheep. Ava is just
you good?
freaking out.
You good?
We run the Kirky seats in a lot of things. Kirky seats are really good, but this seat here is way more comfortable, way safer. It has head restraints or head protection. If we were going to run just the Kirky seat, we're going to spend like $700, $800, $900 just on ISP padding for head protection. This has got it all built in. This is actually the seat out of the Colorado, so I'm going to purchase another RaceTech seat. So RaceTech, if you guys are watching this, hit me up because I'd love to get another seat from you guys and talk about it some more in some more videos. If you get what I'm saying. Because I really like these RaceTech seats. These are the best seats on the market. And I'm not just selling out, even though it might sound like it, but I really do. When you sit in these...
They're comfortable.
Yeah, they're extremely comfortable.
Safe.
They're safe. If you sit in this and you sit in a Kirky seat, there's no questions about which one would protect you better in a wreck. And that's like, we were talking, you know, it's like the way the seat was mounted or some other things that could be like potentially dangerous. Nothing's really a problem until you get into a wreck. So a Kirky seat is just as safe as this if you don't get into a wreck. But when you get into a wreck, especially, this thing is going to be insanely fast. So if you get into a wreck, especially going 200 plus, you want to have every advantage you can to staying safe. So we got this RaceTech seat in there. We're going to get some brackets for it. Probably, are we going to use the RaceTech brackets? No, we're not.
They won't fit.
We're going to...
I'm gonna the front will have a tab that comes off the cage, comes down here to the rocker, through bolts, and then the rear will have a tab, a little spacer. The seat was mounted, like John said, you know, if you're building something, build it.
I'm gonna hop in here quick just so you guys see. This Johnny here, the Kirky seat was, what would you say? The Kirky seat was probably another 3 inches higher? 5 inches? It was 5 inches higher, and we moved it back
3.5 inches.
So we're down and we're back. And I'm not tall by any means. I'm 5'8", 185 pounds. I'm used to sitting down in a car and sitting back. The cow, obviously terrible visibility. Black sheep, I sit pretty low. If you see any pictures of me, you could literally just like barely see my head over the hood. That's just kind of how I've always been, I guess, trained to sit in a car. So first thing when we got this was we had to set it down from where the Kirky seat was and move it back, and add a 16-inch hip width Kirky, which was a little bit. Obviously it's not mounted, so it's going to move around, but you get a general idea of how I sit. So when you sit in the car, you want to get, really, I want to be as far away from the halo or any bars as possible. As you can see, this has some padding on it, but if you get into a wreck, there was just a wreck at the track when we were testing, not a hard wreck at all. Driver banged his head off of the driver containment, you know, the funny car hoop. It's very important that, like, these right here, like when you're wearing a helmet, you're not going to have much room side to side, which is good. You're still able to look. I can still see next to me. I can still see out the windows, but this shit right here is going to keep you safe. So this compared to the Kirky seat,
Cost-wise, it's more, but then you also have to think, if you do a Kirky and then the ISP padding, I mean, you're already getting close to what a RaceTech seat is, and it's comfortability-wise, you know, you can sit in this in a long time. And
this is it's a lot more comfortable than a sheet metal seat. You got to think Kirky seat right now. I think you're paying $200 for a seat, $160 for a seat cover. Then you're paying $700 or $800 for a
the ISP padding.
The ISP padding.
The ISP padding, it's pretty wide, so some funny car hoops won't accept it. But definitely, like, anytime you guys are in there, like, if you put a helmet on and your head's real close to the top bar, any of the bars, if you're wrecking, like, that can hurt you if your helmet contacts that bar, compress your spine. So you definitely want to get lower if you can. You know,
as far as preparing to drive this car and go as fast as we plan to go, I feel a whole lot better with the RaceTech seat. They're comfortable, they're safe. They are a little bit more expensive, but if you think of it like this, like, damn, I could save $500 and get some other BS seat, and then you get some seat that doesn't have like this shit or doesn't keep you safe, and then you're like messed up for the rest of your life.
As I say, that hospital bill is going to be way more than that $500.
The best thing to do is when you build the car, build it like you're not going to race it. Build it like you're going to wreck it at 200 miles an hour. Like, you're not going out there to the track to make passes. Build it like, hey, the first pass we go down, we're going to wreck it at 200 miles an hour, and everything needs to be to where you can walk away. So, like, seat brace. John's like, oh, shit.
So Matt's building the car so that you can wreck it at 200 miles an hour.
It's
but
a good,
exactly right.
That's honestly how you have to think. You have to, you can't shortcut. You can't do stuff that's like unsafe. I mean,
yeah, securing things. You know, you don't want any kind of unsecured ballast. You don't want anything that, you know, if you roll it over, like, you know, a nitrous bottle that's not really attached well, because the G forces when you roll something are extremely high. You know, that 20-pound nitrous bottle is going to be 300, 400, 500 pounds. So you need to really make sure everything's secured, because there's some things that, you know, you wouldn't think, like, oh, that's not a big deal, like mounting the seat, you know, or like on the rear, the back of it, you know, if you have a small post where it braces the seat, in an accident, you could punch through the seat, and then you have a piece of tube trying to go through. So you want to make you have a large bracket on the seat mount, just everything secured correctly.
Yeah. When we originally measured and everything, the Kirky seat, or sorry, the RaceTech seat was not going to fit in here. We were like, hey, if we're gonna remount the seat, let's just see if we can make it fit, and we were able to kind of maneuver it in there so it does fit. So I'm extremely happy. Hand me that real quick. We got a 5-inch billet adapter spacer, and then we're actually going to switch out this strange quick release for the new Motion Raceworks one. I just watched Devin's video, and I think he said the Motion Raceworks one's 2 inches longer than this.
Okay.
So if it is, that'll help me get to where we need. I don't know where
it's on the roof.
It's a square one.
Yeah, this is one of our square wheels. It's a steering square. as you can see here, it's kind of right by where my knees are, like my highest point. So with the 2 inches further back, you'll be in a really good spot, really good driving position, can do whatever, and then you'll have the quick release to get out of it. So
yeah, all this is still kind of mocked up too, to where we can lengthen it, shorten it, move it, angle it, and then once we're in our good final position, we'll weld a brace from here to here to support it.
But big shout out to RaceTech Seats. This one here is extremely nice. If you guys are on the market building a car, highly recommend shopping around, spend a little bit of money, wait another month or two, save your money, get a RaceTech seat, because no lie, like, the seat could be what saves your life. So if you think about it, you're going, oh, I'm going to spend an extra $1,000. Well, is your life worth an extra $1,000? Like, you can easily rack up 50 grand in medical bills like that over, you know, $1,000 investment. Invest in yourself, invest in your safety.
What's crazy, I mean, guys will spend, you know, $1,000 set of rods for your motor, no big deal. $1,000 to save your life, I mean, you know, you can't enjoy the rods if you're not alive, so safety. But we got that. We got the throttle, built some throttle linkage.
Oh yeah, we have a nice throttle brake setup here, which is not bolted in.
So a little tricky, just the way the engine and the plenum and the throttle body and everything
and
was.
The fuel rails and everything.
Fuel rails going through there.
So for some people who may not know, what is there, or what is the benefit to having a solid rod versus a cable?
Really, on a lot of the race car stuff, you probably shouldn't have a cable in case you hang a throttle. Most all of these cars have what they call a tow hook. So you can see it's got this hook right here on the throttle pedal, and you know, especially when you put your booty in there, your whole foot, your foot's wedged in there. So you go wide open throttle and you go to lift. For some reason, if there's something that holding that throttle body back, like, you got to think, if you go through the traps at 200 miles an hour, in another 2 or 3/10 of a second or 4/10 of a second, you're probably going 230 miles an hour, and you should have already been slowing down. So now you're running out of real estate. You don't have a lot of time to do anything. So if you can pull back with your foot and literally force that throttle body shut, it's very important. That will potentially save you.
Yep.
We went a 4:18 in that car right there. So 4.18 seconds, went 175 miles an hour. I held it out to 4.5 seconds and the car went 210. So if you think about how fast it's accelerating, you don't want to have a stuck throttle or a hung throttle. I'm pretty good about it. As soon as I go through the traps, you know, I'm throwing the chute and putting in neutral and starting my shutdown procedure. But you got to think, like, if you're running a short track and it hangs a throttle, you don't have time for that. So
hell no, for what? For what?
And I let go of the button. And I just ran at 260 degrees. And after that, I don't rely on me much anymore. I do turn the boost controller on though.
Yep. So
I do that.
We'll probably, think we'll run one of the valves like having MK Ultra, and we can do it off a switch, or you know, we can do it whenever John flips the CO2 valve to arm the parachutes, and the boost controller automatically turns the boost controller on.
Yeah, that's one thing we're doing different other than the black sheep. The black sheep, I turn the CO2 bottle on and I arm the parachutes before I get strapped in the car. It'll probably be I'll probably do it before I don't know, we'll probably have to see. I'd like to be able to turn my parachutes on before I make the pass in case there is an issue with, I hate to be on the start line and be like, oh, parachutes aren't working, so maybe I do that before I do the burnout.
Yeah.
In case there's any, you have a chance to fix something.
Which it'll have, you know, like I said, we'll be monitoring CO2 pressure in various spots. So with the ECU Masters, you know, it's open source, and you can really, the software is extremely powerful. You guys are going to see some really just crazy stuff that you didn't even realize you could do with it, and it'll have all these safety features that, you know, if he arms the parachutes and the parachutes, like CO2 pressure's low or something's wrong, it'll be displaying a warning to him like, hey, you know, something's not right. If everything's good, he'll have a bunch of green lights, you know, good indicators to where you're not like, hey, how much is this pressure, how much is that pressure? Green is good. He doesn't have to worry about anything. So we're going to try to remove a lot of the driver air out of it, and
try to make it as redundant as possible.
Yep.
As human error prone, as non-human error prone as possible.
Yep, and then safe too, you know, that way, you know, it's like, well, man, I didn't realize that the CO2 pressure was low or anything, you know, we're good. So we got that. We're going to do don't know if you guys have seen, we did the billet mount. I designed it and Parker Speed cut it, did an awesome job on it. And it actually has a drain built into it, so the turbo drains into this tube and then it scavenges out of this right here. So we're going to mount this. This is a Marco UP3 pump. I like to use these. They're really reliable. They're small, they're compact, and they don't draw a lot of amps. So
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Because you know, guys, on a race car, sometimes you don't have a lot of room. So we're going to mount this probably right in there, come straight out of here, and then feed out of that to the pan. Of course, Brown & Miller will be doing all the plumbing and everything on it, so we'll be making a trip.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Got all kinds of stuff. We got the full spectrum power battery we're going to put in here. I'm going to try to do a really trick mount for the Holley and everything, so I'm excited for that. We got some engine back pressure stuff that's going to go in there. Dual injector, man.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Come together. You know, we get some parts, we get them tossed on there, and
can we fit one more injector somewhere so it's 20 and not 19?
I think with our injector driver, we can only drive so many injectors.
Yeah, so we have like,
it'd be great just to be able to drive everyone's injectors at the whole track, but
yeah. See the way my drivers are set up.
yeah.
If you guys are doing it, so there's some ways you can do. If you're doing water or methanol injection in your charge pipe, you can go into the pre-configured list on the Holley to where it's methanol and for water methanol, and then you can set it up to where you can actually use an injector driver to drive those. So we'll be going over that. We got a ton of stuff. This thing's gonna be all teched up.
Spaceship.
Yep, brake pressure stuff. You know, we'll be monitoring all that. That'll be functioning. You know, it's really gonna be unlimited. We're gonna try to do all the trick stuff with the lights. You know, stuff like internal clock to where when you back up, like the lights are gonna automatically come on.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
You know, after 6 p.m. when it's dark, so like you'll have under lights so we can see on the chassis. When he's backing up, I can see exactly on the track.
See the chassis. We don't care about seeing the chassis. We want this thing to have underglow. Okay, it's gonna have underglow. That's Matt's trying to make it seem all technical. It's gonna have underglow. Okay, like Need for Speed. I played that shit growing up. Underglow.
Rice on your promo.
Hey, I'm telling you, some pink seafoam green, like white underglow, like slick Rick thing.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, yeah, I mean,
No Dash Mafia?
No Dash. No, that was the Dash. Who runs a Dash? I'm about to take the Dash out of my F450. I don't use that. You have to have a digital dash to look at things, but other than that, the only other thing you should have in your race car is a bar that goes from A pillar to A pillar.
And honestly, I mean, the Dash, I mean, if anybody's ever drove a fast car, like somebody, the thing kills me. I hear people talking the track, they're like, oh, how much boost did it make? What'd the Dash say? You can't.
The Dash is literally there for if you decide to glance at it while you're doing your burnout, when you arm your boost controller to see what your dome pressure is and what your oil pressure and fuel pressure. Everything is done before you make the pass. The Dash is useless. You can, when you guys go to pull me the beams, I could take the Dash out and hand it to you and it would not change a damn thing.
Yep. If somebody said, hey, you got to read something off that Dash and tell me what it is, or I could pay $1,000, I'd just be like,
even with the GoPro, I put a GoPro on the roll bar and the Black Sheep, you still can't really accurately read the Dash because this shit is just going crazy. It's vibrating. Like, if you guys understand this concept, you take this car, you take it all apart, you weld all these bars to make it super stiff, and then you mount everything to these super stiff bars, and then send it down this track where after the first 100 feet, it's rigid. The whole thing is just shaking like crazy, like it's coming apart. People think that driving and riding in these race cars is enjoyable. It's fun because it's fast, but they sound like they're falling apart. They feel like they're falling apart, and you're literally just strapped essentially to a rocket ship that you have some slight input to get it to the other end.
God, could you imagine a half-mile pass?
Oh, I could not. I went, like I said, I went, didn't even go 1,000 feet and it went 210 miles an hour in that. Aero designed in 87. I mean, literally.
Headlight bucket.
Literally 210. just we're being real in 2022.
Hey, don't knock that off. We got to race that next year.
It's 2022 here. Ooh, this one. Someone tighten this.
Yeah,
I'll fix that one.
Someone tighten that.
So that'll be tomorrow for you.
Tomorrow's video, you're gonna watch us build a complete turbo kit in 1 hour. Hands in team. Oh, hold on.
Oh, the video after the video.
This is Logan's trophy, okay? This was one of Logan's year-end gifts.
fitting that it's beside the Apple.
The trophy case that does all my fulfillment, all my apparel, they do everything. They also are the trophy case. They make trophies, so I have unlimited access to make myself trophies whenever, which I don't take advantage of enough. But this one here is actually given to Logan K. Paul, and this says to Logan Paul, not like the Logan Paul, Logan K. Paul. 0-5 on turbo bullet purchases, because he might not physically buy them, but he retrieves them, and we always were like, hey, if it's a piece of shit, don't bring it home. And we're not really throwing the blame on him, but it's funny to throw the blame on him because we're going there to buy it, whether it's a piece of shit or not. But Logan always brings it back. We're like, damn, Logan, why'd you bring us back this piece of shit? So 0-5, we're leaving this shit in 2021. 2022, we're only buying dime pieces.
Yeah.
I'm feeling so good this year, I might buy something turnkey that actually runs, because everything else I buy doesn't run. But yeah, that's Logan's trophy. So
didn't he buy Hank almost turnkey?
Hank was almost turnkey, turned to roller. So I also got a bunch of parts here, so we're gonna go through some of these parts, and we're gonna get started on Hank. So thank you guys for watching. Comment, subscribe. Like I said at the start of this video, 2,000 likes on this video. And if you comment, I'll go through the comment section, pick a winner, and send you guys a swag pack. So I gave you guys the opportunity in one of the other videos. You guys came close, but we got to get 2,000 likes, and I'll pick a winner and send you guys a swag pack. So go smash that like button. Go hit that subscribe button. Obviously, we got a bunch of badass racing content coming up soon, and we'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload.
And the bell. Hit the bell.
Oh, yeah, turn the bell on. If you don't, it's 2022. Turn the damn bell on.
Yeah.